dear students. Hope you followed the last 3 sessions of the topic electrochemistry. If you have any doubts regarding those topics, please give it in the comment box. Okay. So we can move on to the 4th session of electrochemistry. And today the topic is the conductance of electrolytes or electrolytic conductors. Electrolytes pass the electricity in the molten state or in the aqueous solution. It is due to the movement of the ions. For example, sodium chloride is an electrolyte in the molten state. Molten state means urigiya avastha. In the molten state, it conducts electricity and it is undergoing chemical decomposition and becomes Na plus and Cl minus ions. And those ions carry the electricity. That means in the case of electrolytes, due to the passage of electricity, this itself is undergoing chemical decomposition. Well, before discussing the conductance or conductivity just like that, we have to consider some factors like resistance, resistivity, conductivity, etc. So first of all, we can discuss about resistance. Resistance is the opposition to the flow of electricity. Electricity kadanu povunna tadasam undakkannanu resistance ennu parayunnathu. Resistance is denoted by the letter R, capital R. When we are considering the resistance of a conductor, the resistance is usually directly proportional to the length of the conductor. That is, R is proportional to L, where L is the length of the conductor. And the resistance of a conductor is inversely proportional to area of the cross section. R is proportional to 1 by A. Then we can write R is equal to rho into L by A, where rho is the proportionality constant and that can be called the resistivity or specific resistance. This resistivity, rho, can be defined as the resistance offered by a conductor of unit length and unit area of cross section. That means if L is equal to 1 centimeter and A is equal to 1 centimeter square, then rho becomes equal to R. That is, resistivity becomes equal to resistance of the conductor. Then, as we know, the conductance is the reciprocal of the resistance. The conductance is denoted by the letter G. Then G is equal to 1 by R, where R is the resistance of the conductor. The unit of the resistance is ohm. That is, resistance in the unit in the ohm. Okay. Then this conductance G is equal to 1 by rho into A by L. This is because as we know, R is equal to rho into L by A. 1 by R is equal to 1 by rho into the reciprocal of this one, that is A by L. In this, 1 by rho can be called the conductivity or specific conductance. That is, reciprocal of resistivity, that is 1 by rho, can be called the conductivity or specific conductance. That is, 1 by rho is equal to K, but K is known as kappa. That is, 1 by rho is equal to kappa, where kappa is the conductivity or specific conductance. Then, from this expression, G is equal to 1 by rho is equal to kappa. That is, G is equal to kappa into A by L. Then G becomes equal to kappa when L is equal to 1 centimeter and A is equal to 1 centimeter square. Then this kappa or conductivity can be defined as the conductance offered by a conductor of unit length and unit area of cross section. If the length is 1 centimeter and A is equal to 1 centimeter square, then its volume will be equal to 1 centimeter cube. So we can define this conductivity as the conductance offered by 1 centimeter cube volume of solution. So that is the conductivity. So this kappa is equal to G into L by A. The kappa is the conductivity, G is the conductance, L is the length of the conductor, and A is the area of the cross section. As we know, this length and area of cross section of a conductor is a constant. That means L by A is a constant. That constant can be called self constant. So we can say that conductivity is equal to conductance into cell constant. That is, conductivity is equal to conductance into cell constant. The unit of kappa is S centimeter raised to minus 1. But kappa is the conductivity or specific conductance. Okay. Then next we can discuss about the factors affecting the conductivity of an electrolyte. There are different factors that is affecting the conductivity of the electrolyte. First one is the nature of the electrolyte. Second one is the size of the ions. Third one, nature of the solvent. Fourth one, concentration. Then fifth point is temperature of the electrolyte solution. Okay, these are the main 5 points, that 5 factors that is affecting the conductance of the electrolyte. First one is the nature of electrolyte. That means there are different type of electrolyte. That is strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. For example, strong electrolyte means sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide, etc. Weak electrolyte example is acetic acid, ammonium hydroxide, etc. So, in the case of strong electrolytes, their conductivity will be more compared to weak electrolyte. In the case of influence of size of ions, if the size of the ions are very small, then they will move faster. So, they can conduct more electricity. Thus, size of the ions also affect the conductance. The third one is nature of the solvents. Nature of the solvents means some solvents are more viscous and some are not much viscous. So the viscosity affects the conductance. So if they are more viscous, their conductance will be lower. Then fourth point is concentration. So concentration also depends. Concentration also influence the conductance. So in the case of more concentrated solution, the freedom of ions will be less. The movement of ions will be less. So conductance also decreases. In the dilute solution, ions will move faster. Temperature also influences the conductance. As temperature increases, the conductance increases in the case of electrolytic solution. Electrolytes conduct more electricity when temperature increases. So these are the 5 factors that is affecting the conductance of an electrolyte. Okay, so electrolytic conduction depends mainly on these 5 factors. Okay, hope you followed. we can compare the metallic conductors and electrolytic conductors. Metallic conductors and electrolytic conductors. Metallic conductor means, for example, copper is a metallic conductor because copper conducts electricity. Sodium chloride solution, it's an electrolytic conductor. It also carries electricity. But there are differences between the conductivity of these metals and electrolytes. We can discuss the differences between these metallic conductors and electrolytic conductors. First difference is that in the case of metals, electrons are the carriers of electricity. But in the case of electrolytes, ions are the carriers of electricity. So, first difference, in the metals, electrons are the carriers of electricity. In the case of electrolytes, ions are the carriers of electricity. Then, in the metallic conductors, when electricity moves through this metal, there is no chemical changes occur in the case of metal. But in the case of electrolytes, when electricity moves through the electrolyte, it is undergoing chemical decomposition. For example, sodium chloride decomposes to form Na plus and Cl minus. The second difference is that in the case of metals, no chemical change. But in the case of these electrolytes, chemical changes occurring. The third point, by the chemical change, in the case of electrolytes, mass transfer is occurring. The movement of mass is occurring. But in the case of metallic conductor, since there is no chemical change, no mass transfer. The other one, mass transfer is occurring. Fourth point, temperature influences the metallic conductors and electrolytic conductors in a different way. In the case of metals, as temperature increases, the metallic conductance decreases. As temperature increases, metallic conductance decreases. But in the case of electrolytic conductors, as temperature increases, more conductance occurs. Okay, so here temperature influences the metallic conductors by, as temperature increases, the conductance decreases. Here, as temperature increases, metallic conductance increases. Fifth difference is that usually the conductivity of metals are very high, but when we are considering the electrolytic conductors, their conductance or conductivity is very low compared to the metals. So, in the metallic conductors, the conductivity high, here conductivity low. Okay, so these are the 5 differences between metallic conductors and electrolytic conductors. That is, metallic conductors means metals allow the passage of electricity due to the movement of ions, but in the other case, it allows the passage of electricity due to the movement of ions. Here electrons, here ions. Here no chemical change, here chemical change. In this case, no mass transfer, here mass transfer. Here, as temperature increases, conduction decreases. As temperature increases, conduction increases. Here, usually conductivity is very high in the case of metal. Here, conductivity is low in the case of electrolytic conductors. Okay.